Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on the north spawn of Malinovka and it's under the command of ProvoBob. Now he's armed with the 8-inch howitzer, which is 203mm in caliber, and it'll do 1050 alpha, penetrating 52mm of armour, and it's got a burst radius of 11.1 meters. Standard game starts. Now, one of the features that most people like about the M53, M55 is that turret. It can actually turn to 30 degrees either side of the centre line, which gives it a 60-degree arc, which makes it very easy to dial in on targets fairly quickly, and the gun will turn without the vehicle moving if it's within that 60-degree arc. Now, this vehicle is based on the M47, M48 pattern. Depends on which variety you actually had being put onto the production line at the time as to which particular hull was used for the artillery. The Americans used this in Vietnam, and he fires one round downrange at the spotting bush, which I always do as well, because there's always the chance you've got a little light tank sitting in there, and it's just so amusing when you actually fire around him blind and there's a little dead light tank hiding in the bush afterwards. Yes, you'd be surprised the number of people who think, yes, it's perfectly okay to go spotting in that bush, and find out to their cost that an artillery round arrives very shortly afterwards. Well, it was a good guess that there was an enemy tank down there. T-30 had been seen in that area, so good chance that he was still there. Yes, he is, and he's stunned now. In fact, it looks like he lost a little hit points before that shot there. In fact, actually, he's losing a lot of hit points. And if ProvoBob can get around in there... Oh, no, he can't, because the target's died. The Object 430 got the honours. Okay, well, we can't see many other enemy. In fact, the only other enemy we can see is right up on top of the hill. He's just dialing in. Another great feature about this artillery is that because it's a closed artillery, you can use vents, and that greatly enhances the reload rate as well as the aiming accuracy. It really does improve it. A lot of people think of this Arty as their go-to Arty, of this one or the M44, because it's just so much fun to play. And of course, if you want to do a lot of damage to the enemy, this is probably the Arty to go for. The standard reload is 40.27 seconds, but ProvoBob has got it down to just over 30 seconds. 32 actually. Oh, and that one went well wide of the aim point. But he's got a bunch of enemy tanks all grouping together here, and this is when I normally bring out the premium ammo, because I realise that when you've got more than one tank grouped together, the chances are you're going to hit more than one at the same time. And even though they've got a Bobject, he still goes down to a shot from our IS-7. Okay, lining up a shot from the ST2. He keeps pulling back, and if he does, he might actually splash that E4. Line him up. I always aim just slightly behind them to get it lined up perfectly. Rounds out. Well, he hit two at once there. The ST2 and the E4 both took that shot. Now, whilst that's all going on, the E100's moving up on that lower level. See if he can get a shot into their sides. And, well, the Jaeger's seen that, and I think he wants to counter that move. And he has. Okay, ProvoBob's about to fire another one in. That's out. Oh! The E4 died before his shell arrived. It is quite a long distance away from the aim point. He's about, I'd say about 4 seconds flight time between him and the target at the moment. That is a long way away. Quite a delay. Well, if the Jaeger keeps backing up like that, he's going to take a round. In fact, he's changed course now, which makes it slightly easier to get a shot on him. That one hit the side. 315 hit points. Nice bit of stun. That's the good thing about the M53, M55. You do get a lot of stun, and that stun equals stun assist, and that means you can get ace tankers if you can push it. Get as much stun assist, much damage as you can. Okay, ST2 taking shots at our E100. It's pulling back, but the Jaeger makes a much better target now. Rounds out. That one for 509. It looked like it hit the engine deck, actually. Unfortunately, we did lose the E100. But it was a big hit. And the Jaeger did use his first aid kit to get rid of the stun straight away. He won't be able to do that one again in a hurry. It'll be on cooldown. E75 is the only target prominent at the moment. Lining up a shot. Rounds out. That looks good. Very good. Oh, he only clips him for 100 of splash. If that one had hit directly, I reckon he would have been out the game. So close. Now this is one of two replays, both featuring the M53, M55, and both on Malinovka, but featuring different players. So you get to experience this Arty from a different perspective. Lining up, work out where he's going. That looks good. He's stationary. He's oh yes, takes it in the side. 452. Ooh, our Object 2684 just took a massive hit from that 17cm gun on the Jaeger. Can we redress the balance? Rounds out. He's guessing where he is. And he hit him. Another direct hit. And the Jaeger is now down to 303 hit points. So ProvoBob might be able to take him out with another round if he can get a direct hit on him. Unfortunately, we lost the IS-3 too. Now, which one of these is he going to take out of the game? Because I reckon he can take them out. Remember that E79, he narrowly missed getting a chance to take him out of the game earlier. He's guessing that he's there. Unfortunately, he wasn't. In fact, the only tank we've got up on the hill now is the Foch B, Tier 10 French tank destroyer. Defending against the ST2, the E75 and the Jaeger. Lining it up, working out where he's going. A bit more. And he's loaded. Now. Looks good. Unfortunately, it falls short. RNG says no, and you're not getting that one. And it fell well short of the aim point. You can see he was aiming for the tracks area, which is something I do actually as well. I tend to aim for the tracks of the vehicle. Because if it goes over, it'll hit the turret. If it goes under, it'll still splash them. Oh, and that ST2 took a hammering there. And one of the enemy Arties has been spotted, but unfortunately we lost the Foch to the Leopard 1 on the enemy team. He's probably in those bushes down there. We fire around in the GW, and it lands near him, but not close enough to get a kill. So it's 4 versus 6 at the moment. In fact, now it's 3 versus 6 because the gorilla just killed our Jagdtiger. Or did he? No, actually it was the M53, M55 on the enemy team who killed the Jagdtiger. So it must have been a combined hit from the Gorilla 15 and the M53, M55. Okay, we've got an E75 hiding in the dip. Oh, not anymore! A blind kill to ProvoBob. He reckoned that heavy tanker was coming up out of the dip. And although he couldn't see him, he knew where to put the shell to hit anything that was sitting just outside the dip. And got a kill out of it. Trouble is now he's completely dependent on the Wizzy 111 GFT and the Gorilla 15 to tell him where the enemy is, because he's as blind as a bat normally. The view range from this particular Arty is only 300 meters, so you're not going to be spotting the enemy before the enemy spots you most of the time. That's where concealment on Artys is really important. Best thing to do is hide from the enemy, and if they get too close, blast them at close range, take them out of the game that way. So 3 versus 4 now. The enemy's got 2 Arty, a tank destroyer and a medium. The medium is the Leopard 1. Now I think he was over the other side of the map, and that's when he shot the Foch. The Jaeger is the tank destroyer, and of course we know he's badly damaged because the last time we saw him he only had 300 hit points or thereabouts. And there he is, and yes, he's only got 303. Not anymore. ProvoBob's got him. One quick shot on target, all he needed. And that now evens up the score. But we've got one more tank destroyer than they've got. Well, they haven't got any tank destroyers at all. Now they've only got that Leopard. Now, if you look at the hit points for each team, you can see they're about even. Now, I suspect that that's partially because the enemy RT are still full health, and so is that Leopard. Of course, we're still full health, and we know that our Wizzy 111 GFT only has 34% and 600 hit points, and our G15 Gorilla 15, I was saying G15, our Gorilla 15, well, I don't know the state of him, but I think he's moderately full health. Say moderately, I think he's probably only taken one shot, if that. We're watching the Wizzy 111 move across the field because he's getting... Oh, there's the Leopard. He is up there, and he's not full health, but he is very healthy compared to the Wizzy now. So, and we've lost the Wizzy. A blind shot in, and he got the hit. He did hit the Leopard, and the Leopard's fairly thin skinned, so that Leopard has probably taken a hell of a hit. And we can see that on the hit points, because now there's a big difference between them. Even though we've lost the tank, we've now got 2,250 hit points of health, and the enemy team's only got 1,664, and most of that will be in their Artys. Because remember, the M53, M55 has 450 hit points of health. So if you deduct that off, then you're looking at 1,200 hit points overall for the enemy team. And we know the GW Tiger probably has most of that, or some of it. I'd say it's a fair bet that the Leopard is going to try and snipe at anyone who goes into the cap. And if I was ProvoBob, I'd act as bait to try and bait the Leopard to come down. And oh, we don't need to worry about that. Actually, the GW Tiger's come back and he's been spotted by the Gorilla. So we're dialing in, making sure we get a tight reticule before we shoot. Looks good, and it is. 158 hit points is all he had left, so he must have been hit by ProvoBob earlier. We know the M53, M55 is full health. There's only a minute left to go now. They're down to 1,164 hit points, so we can work out exactly what the enemy's got. And oh, the Leopard just got taken out, and there's the last 450 hit points on the M53, M55. So we just got to find out where that guy is quick. We've only got 26 seconds to find the M53, M55 to win the game. You see the manual aiming rescue, that round thing sitting near the barrel. That's what you look down the manual gun sight to train the barrel onto an enemy target if it's at close range. Can we find him in time? 5 seconds, 4 seconds. I don't think we're going to find him. I think he's got away. He finds a snapshot into the north. And unfortunately, this one ends up a draw. So let's have a look at the second replay. The second replay is from the Eastbourne of Malinovka, and it's Goliath Killer 1 in charge. Game started. And we get to see this battle from the opposite end, different perspective. It's not the same battle, but it's still interesting all the same. Let's have a look and see how he gets on. Well, he's gone in amongst the trees, and he's now just deciding where he's going to aim. Okay, his first area that he's looking at is down by the waterside. And then he changes to the corner where the Arty are probably located, looking for any trees to fall down. And lots of enemy have suddenly appeared out of nowhere, including a T-54, which he's dialing in on right now. Fires his first round and lands fairly near. Well, he knocked a tree down, which is not always a good idea to do, but unless, of course, you're selling a dummy to the enemy and trying to make the enemy Arty think that you are somewhere else. Unfortunately, he didn't move too far away from where that Arty was, from that tree rather, and that could be a bit of a problem. Now, one of our units has managed to make into the dip, and he's now countering a Batchat 25 TAP, the Tier 9 French light tank. Rounds out. Unfortunately, it hit that ridgeline, and there's a little ridgeline there. And he hit that before he got to the Batchat, but the other M53, M55 on our team got the kill. The T-54's moved up to try and help. It's always a good position that UDES is in, UDES 16. The ramp there actually allows you to spot enemy tanks going up the hill, as well as sneak up and peek at tanks which are on the opposite hill to our lookout area. And this time round, Goliath Killer gets a shot near the T-54 and gets some damage off him. 302 hit points. And it looks like the enemy Arty is also trying to get the UDES, because the shell landed very close to him. Now, something Goliath Killer may have not noticed is that there's an M103 over by the waterside. He's got to the south end of the map. He's trying to line up a shot with the T-54, and he gets a hit this time for 335. And the T-54 goes down to a shot from the GSOR. Right, over on the water side, we can see that M103 I saw earlier. And it looks like, well, him and a Foch have managed to get into our territory. And we might be able to help our Foch out by taking this Foch out. That's out. Yep, nice. It did stun our teammate, but at least he gets a little bit of respite, because there's now an ST-1 coming up behind him to shoot him through the window. And there's one round and there's two. He's out. That's unfortunate. Not a lot Goliath Killer could do. He did what he could to try and get rid of that Foch, the enemy Foch. Just couldn't fire a round in quickly enough to shoot out the ST-1. He's now changed his aim to the top of the hill, and we've got a T-57 heavy tank and a Maushan working together. And Goliath Killer does have premium ammo, so he could aim at these guys and hit both of them with the same shot. Just waiting for the reload to complete. I know it says okay, but that's when he just loaded. And he did hit both. Looks like T57 Heavy just emptied his mag, but he is very low on hit points. And the Mauscher's low on hit points now because he just took 2 or 3 shots in a row from some of our guys. In fact, they're both very low on hit points now. Rounds out. Oh, Bombardier! He got both of them with 1 shot. Very nice Bombardier there. Goliath Killer will be happy with that one. 2 kills, 1 shot. And that frees up our guys up on top of the hill to now come down the hill on the other side, which is going to cause panic amongst the enemy team. They do have this ST1 and the M103 down this side of the map, but they're being held there, pinned in position by a Panzerkampfwagen 7 and a TVP 250-51. We're now going to go for the M103, who's low on hit points, and that's a kill. So that's 4 kills now for Goliath Killer. He's having a good game. Well, after getting that Foch, it was a nice easy kill. Then he gets a Bombardier on the hill, and then he finishes off with an M103. Who's next? That ST1 does not look safe now. The Panzerkampfwagen 7 has moved up to have a go at him. Well, despite the fact that he blasted 1 round and... Wow! 61 hit points of splash. The ST1 is now stunned. He's easy meat for the Panzerkampfwagen 7 if he can get the shell in the right place. He's now gone to the face hug to try and stop the Panzer 7 from getting the kill. And in fact, it's the TVP T50-51 who gets the kill shot. And now that the team has come down from the hill, we've got this is what we call a true scumbag, the ones who drown themselves. But Goliath Killer 1 doesn't let him drown because he gets the kill shot that finishes the game and wins it. No, we don't drown. We don't need to. We fight to the end. That's what Arty Noobs does. Yes, let's have a look at the end of battle stats for both games. Here's the end of battle stats, and it was an ace tanker for ProvoBob in the M53, M55. Not his first ace tanker in this Arty, he's had them before. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 16, a Gauze medal for doing more damage than 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle, and he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And his win rate from that battle was 6,282. I think it's 82. My eyesight's giving up on me. And if we look at the team score, we can see he's top of the table on damage on his team, but the highest damage was actually done by that Leopard 1. 4,841 hit points. I think he was sniping from the bushes further down the hill and getting some good shots on the enemy. That's why he managed to accumulate so much damage. Second highest damage was ProvoBob with 4,405, but he was the top on his team. And third highest damage was the Strip 1030 on the enemy team with 4,251. When it came to kills, it was shared between ProvoBob, the Griller 15 on his own team, and the Jaegeru on the enemy team. All got 3 kills. 2 kills to the Foch B, the Leopard 1, the Strip 1030, and their GW Tiger. When it came to base XP, it was actually ProvoBob who got the highest with 787, even though it was a draw. 614 went to the AMX-30 on the enemy team, and he also picked up a patrol duty. And after that, it was the M53, M55 on the enemy team. The guy who actually survived to run away and fight another day, he got 600 base experience points. ProvoBob fired 19 rounds in that game, got 8 direct hits, no penetrations but 20 splash. Damage of 4,405 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 3, did 2,470 hit points of stun assist off 17 stuns, and that's where I think he got the ace tanker. He just did so much stun assist, hitting enemy tanks where they were in sight of his teammates, and allowing them to get shots which would then earn him the credit. 61,328 credits on a premium count, 5,500 and I think that's 89 credits for Courageous Resistance. That's because he got an Epic Medal or Battle Hero Medal in a losing or drawn game, and this was a drawn one. And it's done to equalise the score with those who make an exceptional effort in a game, to equalise them with the winning team. In fact, there's no winning team in this game, but it just means that those who've got those epic or battle hero medals will get the extra effort recognised. 66,917 credits altogether, and after resupply of ammunition and consumables, he still made a profit of 11,387 credits. 1,180 XP, 693 for Courageous Resistance down here, 1,873 experience points altogether, so a very fine ace tanker. It's just a pity they couldn't find the enemy Arty in time. They did a great bit of effort there. ProvoBob taking out the GW Tiger right at the end, and then the Gorilla 15 taking out the Leopard, who I thought that that was going to be the really difficult one to take down. But then it was the M53, M55, and he got away, unfortunately, but it does sometimes happen. The Arty gets away, and as a result, it ends up a draw. Let's have a look at the results for the second battle, and that was the one with Goliath Killer 1 in the M53, M55. He also got a second class tanker in this game. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up with 5, just one short of getting a top gun, and 1/3 of the enemy team. And of course included that kill on that Arty, who tried to die at the end by drowning, but he wasn't going to let him do that. It's better to fight and go down fighting, confront the enemy, even if you have to ram them to get some more hit points out of them. But it's the best way to go out in a battle. At least you went down fighting. You didn't try to drown yourself and deprive the enemy team of an extra kill. He got a bombardier. He took out 2 tanks with 1 shot. He took out the T-57 Heavy, and he also took out the Malshan at the same time, 1 round. And of course he also got that nice shot on the Foshby and the M103 during the game. But I suppose actually the best thing about that was taking out that drowning Arty, that what we call a scumbag. If we're not scumbags because we play Arty, but the people who try to drown themselves, they really are, because they are doing it deliberately to try and deprive the enemy team of the extra hit points that and of course the extra XP that they would earn by killing all of the enemy team. And so yes, they truly do deserve that title because they've earned it. They are actually trying to ruin the game for the other team, and so much better to go down and get a few extra hit points in the process. And he also managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 10 in that game, and his win rate was 1,964. He didn't get as much in the way of win rate than ProvoBob, mainly because he wasn't actually getting a huge amount of hit points. He was actually managing to get decent kills, but they were mostly those kills which are already fairly enemy tanks that are already very badly damaged, so he was able to clip them and finish them off for his team. If we look at team score, we can see that he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to the Panzerkampfwagen 7, the Panzer 7. 4,127 hit points of damage went to him. The GSOR got 2,460, and he got a Confederate. And the next highest scorer after that was the E75 on his own team with 2,291 hit points, closely followed by one of the enemy Artys. I'm not sure if that was the one that tried to drown himself at the end. I think it was. 2,218 hit points of damage to him. We can see the Goliath Killer managed to get 1,831, which puts him respectably in the middle of the team. But when it came to kills, he was right at the top with 5. 3 kills went to the TVP T5051, 2 kills to the GSOR, and also to the enemy M53, M55 and their UDAS 16. When it came to base XP, he was in second place because the GSOR managed to get 1,167, and I suspect that's because he did do some spotting. A lot of spotting, 4,955 hit points of damage on spotting. So yes, he really did earn that Confederate by doing what he did and spotting for his team like a champ. And well, ProvoBob managed to get 917 basic experience points, mainly because of course he did a lot of stun assists, or did some stun assists. Let's have a look at detail. 10 shots fired, 4 direct hits, no penetrations but 13 splash. Damage of 1,831 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 5, and did 409 hit points of damage assist and 447 hit points of stun assist off 7 stuns. So he didn't actually do as much stun assist, but he actually did damage assist and stun assist in this one, which is probably why he only got the second class. But of course he did get a nice amount of kills. On a premium count, he earned 31,977 credits, and after resupply of ammunition and consumables, took away 8,277 credits. 25 bonds for completing a mission, and 1,375 XP, 2,751 from personal reserves, took away 4,126 experience points altogether. So 2 very different games on the same map. And I think Goliath Killer actually had a major effect on that bombardier, because it actually opened up the top of the hill and the rest of his team just flooded down that hill afterwards. And after that gate was open, the floodgate was open, there wasn't much left for him to do. There wasn't that many targets that he could aim at. And in fact, actually, he was relegated to helping the Panzerkampfwagen-7 to take out that ST-1. And after that, it was a case of getting that last shot on the guy who was trying to drown himself at the end. And a beautiful shot that was, because the guy was already in the water by then. But he managed to place the shot just right to get the kill and take him out the game. I hope you enjoyed both those replays. A nice little ace tanker from ProvoBob, a nice second class and bombardier from Goliath Killer. And if you did enjoy that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.